We're joined on Can Do FM by Colin Garnett, who is manager of Barrow BID. A welcome guest on Can Do FM. You've been here many times before, haven't you, Colin?
I have. It's nice to be back. Hi, Andrea.
Hi. Now then, obviously, coronavirus has had a massive impact on Barrow Town Centre. Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit for us, please, now that the data is all starting to come in?
Yeah, it's been hard times in Barrow Town Centre. I mean, we were already suffering as a town centre, as many town centres were around the UK, with changing shopping habits. And then coronavirus comes and hits us. And, you know, it's been a strange one. There's been winners and losers, really. We've had some businesses that have adapted really well, and they've been able to reach new customers, either through deliveries or hooking up with local companies like Barrow Eats.
Yeah.
And people have been able to get takeaways or food shopping, and even get your favourite pies delivered right to your door, which I know my children have loved.
I don't know if you've seen, Colin, but we've been doing quite a lot of interviews that we're calling Bounce Back to Business with local retailers, local businesses. And what's always amazed me is how people have adapted and how resilient they are, and that they've taken it as a positive opportunity to have a really good think about their businesses. And you know, a lot of people have come out stronger for it.
Yeah, and I think that's great. You know, it shouldn't have taken something like coronavirus to do that. But the fact that lots of business owners have adapted and have looked at different ways to reach customers, I think will make them stronger in the future.
Yeah.
You know, gone are the days where you can launch a business and be located right on the high street, and footfall will dictate that you'll get lots of people through the doors and lots of sales. You have to reach customers in different ways now.
Yeah. Now, you know, you've been very busy. What has Barrow BID been doing to assist the businesses in our town?
Well, initially, we provided businesses with as much up-to-date information as we could. The government legislation was changing daily, if you remember back in March. So what we were trying to do was really just keep businesses up to date with what was happening, what grants they could apply for, you know, what support that they could get as well. I mean, it was difficult for us. A lot of it was, you know, watching the daily news reports and the government, watching Boris Johnson's statements every day. And dissecting them and getting them out to the businesses. What we also did was we went around the town and found out which businesses were able to remain open and support the general public. So the likes of your chemists, your food shops, pet food stores, and even places like Phil Heath's, who started to deliver jigsaws and crafts and games that people needed, because when you're going into lockdown, you know, one of the biggest problems was, you know, that mental boredom as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I mean, that's a great example of adapting, isn't it? Now we've all got a part to play, of course. So those of us that live in the area of Barrow, in the vicinity of Barrow, what can we do though? You know, I mean, I know we can shop in Barrow. Is there anything else? What else can we do to support our local businesses, retailers?
Well, you know, this is down to local people. The small businesses in Barrow Town Centre really came out and supported them when they went into lockdown. You know, most people will have had a takeaway from the favourite restaurants or the favourite food place. All of the shops have adapted and been able to support the local public. But imagine Barrow without all of those businesses. Imagine if we all just shopped on Amazon and we all just shopped online and all of those businesses had been closed. So coronavirus would have come and we'd have had no small businesses to support the local community. What we've got to do is we've got to make an effort to go back to the town centre. We've got to make an effort to get back to the market traders, the independent business owners, and go and support them. we have a saying, you either buy local or it's buy local, because it'll go. We've seen during coronavirus, there's probably 5 or 6 shops that we know of that won't reopen. Now, a lot of those are national chains, and they're going through really tough times on the high street. But if these national chains are closing, we need to look at replacing them with independent shops. But we've got to have people coming into the town and supporting the shops and creating a vibrant community. I mean, we're geographically isolated in Barrow, so there's not many options for people to go. Your more elderly community, they rely so much on having a town centre and having the shops, the experience, and being able to socialise with friends and people. So what I would say to local people is support Barrow Town Centre and support your local businesses as much as possible.
Yeah, it's a bit like a chicken and egg situation, isn't it? You need people there to get it all going again, to make it vibrant, but people don't like going until it's vibrant. So, it's one of those sort of chicken and egg situations, but really, we have to accept that it's all our responsibility to get out there and shop local in Barrow. What else have you been doing? What else have you been doing now? Come on, I know you've been busy on other stuff as well.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't just been sitting at home and twiddling our thumbs waiting for the shops to reopen. We've been working on lots of things during the lockdown. So Barrow BID, we have a seat on the Town Deal Board and on the Town Centre Programme boards. We've been working with Barrow Council and partners on these applications to the government for the Town Deal Fund and the. That's
right. We've been hearing a lot about that on Can Do FM over the past few weeks. It all sounds very, very exciting, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's a massive opportunity with these funds to really look at the transformation of Barrow as a destination and of Barrow Town Centre. The Future High Street Fund focuses around Barrow Market, the Town Hall, and areas of land around that sort of area of Barrow Town Centre. I think with the Market Hall project, that's really key into how we can create more entrepreneurs from local people, how we can get more people into retail and trying to or starting to run a business.
Yeah.
The Market Hall hasn't really had any sort of capital investment for about 50 years. I think it was the 1970s when it last had a refurbishment.
Is that 50 years? Sorry, yeah. That was last year. No, it's 50 years, is it?
50 years, yeah, the 1970s.
I thought I was thinking like 50, that's like the 1930s, but no.
I know, time's gone fast, hasn't it, Andrea?
So, mate.
But, places like Altrincham, they've got a lot of competition right on their doorstep with Manchester and other large towns, and they've had to reinvent themselves, and they did it through, the refurbishment of their Market Hall, but looking at how they could attract more younger people into the market and attract more of a diverse range of people into the market. Yeah. That's what we need to do. The indoor market's a fantastic place already. It's got a real buzz about it and a community feel. But I think with a refurbishment, we can start to look at attracting generations for years to come.
Yeah. So you think this funding then, if we're lucky enough to get our hands on it, is really going to transform Barrow?
I think it has got the potential to transform Barrow, yeah. I'm not on the Town Deal Board, but I've looked at some of the projects from there, looking at education and a University of Barrow, things like...
The Marina Village is back on the cards again.
Yeah, the Marina Village. I've been watching that project for several years, since the first time I was involved in regeneration. So that would be an interesting one. I think that opens up a lot of accommodation for younger people, young professionals, and there's the potential to make Barrow a fantastic place to live and to visit as well. So, yeah, I do think it's a massive opportunity, and I hope the government can support us with those grants.
What's this Pocket Park project you've been telling me about?
Well, yeah. Also, while we've been in lockdown, we've been working on some projects of our own. So the Pocket Park is one project. It's looking at an area, a sort of derelict area of land right off the high street. And what we'd like to do is create a preschool playground and a multi-use garden area right off Dalton Road. At the moment, Barrow Town Centre doesn't really have much green space. Sorry about that, Andrea. That's my phone going off. Barrow Town Centre doesn't have a lot of green space, and we don't have areas of land that would attract families in, or if looking at sort of the parent and toddler and bringing those into the town. So what we want to do is create a safe environment for parents and families to come, children to be able to play, and parents just to be able to have a bit of chill out time and sit and maybe have a sandwich and let the kids play. So that's the Pocket Park scheme. We're also working on what's called a train station gateway project, where we're looking to install some signs to promote Barrow Town Centre and some of the places of interest in the town, and perhaps put some signage to point to Barrow Raiders and the newly promoted Barrow AFC stadiums as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big thing, isn't it? You get off the train in Barrow and it's one of the, the station isn't in the centre of Barrow. You do have to walk a bit, don't you? And I think, that's one of the things where, it's not particularly welcoming when you get off the train in Barrow.
Yeah, well, we found that. I've actually stood there and spoke to a few visitors in the past and asked how they got on when they arrived at Barrow. And they said there's no signs to the town centre at all. You're kind of guided up a path to the left, which takes you onto the bridge. And they didn't even know which way to go from there. Do they go left? Do they go right?
Yeah, whereas on their doorstep they've got Barrow Park and the town centre is and up Abbey Road, which is a beautiful road, and we should make more of that.
It is. Just on that, we get lots of people arriving by train going to the hospital and to BAE Systems, and they arrive and just jump in taxis and go off to their workplaces. Whereas I think if we let people know where things are and how long it'll take to walk, people can then enjoy, walking through the town centre or going to Barrow Park and walking to work. Yeah.
Does this tie in with the Visit Barrow tourism idea that's taking hold now?
Yeah, it does. We launched the Visit Barrow sort of tourism brand when we had the Tour of Britain cycle race. We had the start of one of the stages in I think it was September 2018, and we launched the Visit Barrow brand on the back of that, really, and looking at Barrow as a visitor destination. Now, we believe that Barrow's got lots and lots of unique selling points to become a tourist destination in its own right. We shouldn't have to piggyback on our locality to the Lake District National Park. That's good, and we've got lots of accommodation, and people can come and stay and then visit the lakes. But actually, they can come and stay and enjoy visiting Barrow. Yeah, we've got 60 kilometres of coastline. We've got the only grey seal colony in the whole of Cumbria. We've got an island with a castle and its own king. We've got
Berners Abbey, beautiful.
Berners Abbey, lots of beaches, the Dock Museum, South Lakes Wild Animal Park, which is in Barrow Borough. there's so many things, and yet we don't promote ourselves very well. So Barrow BID, I like to think of ourselves as a custodian for the Visit Barrow brand, but we are meeting with lots of different partners from around the borough now, including the councils, the MP, and some of the private sector attractions and businesses to form this partnership that will take the Visit Barrow brand on.
Yeah, well, good luck with that. I mean, I don't know why not. I mean, people, go for a day trip up to Whitehaven, don't they? Places like that, and have a great time. I really don't get it why we don't have the same things going on here.
No, well, it seems to be, we've always had, it's always been about industry. We've got lots of industry here, and all of the jobs and all of the focus has been on BAE systems and the industry that we have. But we really need to promote our assets better. Yeah. We're ranked number 1 in the whole of England for our natural assets, our fauna and flora. Yeah. The coastal paths around Walney. I mean, during lockdown and we couldn't travel. Yeah. I got to have so many adventures with my boys around Walney. It was a fantastic place. Well,
people have rediscovered them, haven't they, in lockdown? You had your hours exercise, and so many people just got out and started walking from their own house and finding all these beautiful places that they kind of knew were there but hadn't really explored in any detail. Anyway, it's been lovely to talk to you. So thank you so much, and good luck with everything, all your endeavours, and I'm sure you'll be back on Can Do FM very shortly.
I'd love to. Cheers, Andrea.